The new year brought new bipartisan legislation to New Jersey that no longer requires teachers to take a certification test to be licensed to teach. Joining us now to discuss this is education expert and founder of OptimaEd, Erika Donalds. Good morning to you, Erika. Great to see you. Happy New Year.
Good morning. Always great to be here.
Thanks for joining us. Now, you say this is a step in the right direction in improving our failing public education system, as these tests often serve only to really give an obstacle in providing quality education. Tell us how so.
Well, the teachers union may want these tests to lower standards, but Americans should actually be open to this idea, which would allow more college graduates of other persuasions like history, math, and English to teach without a traditional teaching degree. It actually lowers the barriers to entry and the bureaucratic red tape and opens up the teaching profession to more people who may be excellent teachers in the classroom, and puts that decision in the hands of principals and school leaders to decide whether this teacher is effective or not.
Right, because the bottom line is the teachers who want to be teachers can still be teachers even if this goes away. And we constantly talk about this teacher shortage. This certification test also excluded about 90% of college graduates who wanted to teach. How so?
Well, yes, a lot of Americans don't know that a person with an accounting master's degree like myself cannot go in and teach math in the classroom in a high school or middle school, because you have to, in many cases, have a teaching degree specifically, go back for additional coursework in teaching. You don't even have to have expertise in your subject area. That's what teaching certification does. It excludes people, does not include people in being able to take a subject that they are passionate about and that they are experts in and actually go in the classroom to teach. So it really does create a barrier and deters people like myself from going to teach in the classroom.
Are other states following in New Jersey's footsteps in doing this? Are other states doing this as well?
Sure. We've seen several states, and it's not limited to red or blue states, California, Missouri, Oklahoma, Alabama, who have stopped requiring all of the things that used to be required, jumping through these fiery hoops to get into the classroom, recognizing, especially after the pandemic, that the teacher shortage was exacerbated and continues to be. And it's not just about teacher pay. Being a teacher is difficult. And we want to hold teachers accountable for their performance once they're in the classroom, they're teaching children. But listen, we have certified teachers all over the country who have passed these tests, who are teaching in failing schools and who are not really succeeding.
This is true. You know, Florida has really led the way in some of this legislation, I know. When it comes to education, how has your state taken power away from bureaucrats and given it to school leaders?
And we really have been a leader in alternative certifications, allowing veterans to make their way into the classroom easily. And in the last couple of years, classical education, specifically allowing schools like the ones that I have started over the past 10 years to self-certify through a different mechanism, which is great because we were having to teach these teachers how to pass the teaching exam and then teach them separately how to teach classically. So you have to understand, these tests are not a matter of whether a teacher is qualified or not. They're simply a barrier to entry. And we should celebrate when these reforms are taking place.
Clearly, these certification tests are not doing anything to improve the quality of our education system, given what we have experienced in America's public education. What is the metric then? What should be used to deliver better student performance?
Well, we ultimately want to put that in the hands of parents, right? I hear from parents all the time, and of course they want their children to achieve academically, and they use standardized tests and many other different academic measures to determine that. No longer grades, those can be inflated. However, parents are also looking at the mental health of their children and whether their children are safe in school, whether they're flourishing, you know, whether they're obtaining the cultural literacy and knowledge and values that they espouse at home. So parents are measuring the success of schools very differently these days. We want to be transparent about student performance when it comes to both academics and school culture. So we want to really put that in the hands of parents, allow free market competition and school choice to determine who's doing a great job and, you know, which schools do not deserve the choice of parents when it comes to school choice and allowing their students to succeed in these environments.
Founder of OptimaEd, Erika Donalds. Always great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.